One thing that CSS3 also gives us is the exclusion. So we can say match all these elements and then exclude these elements. So here I've matched all the divs and I've excluded any div that has a class with exclude me. So what it does is it first matches everything on the left, going from right to left, and then it's actually no, it doesn't. It first matches the div, then it says not, and then it checks to see if there's a parent. So here it says not exclude me, and I used a class. I could have used, an attribute selector, something that doesn't have a title, anything that doesn't have a title. I don't know why you would want to do that. Or not nth of type 3. So in this case, it would match every single div except for the third one. Why not? You might not want to match the third one. So this is actually very useful and very powerful, but there's a few things to note about this. What exactly can go in here? So what can go in here is what they call a simple selector. Now, nth of type 3 might be new to you, so it might not seem that simple, but it is simple in that it's not a parent-child or ancestor-descendant relationship. I was going to say dependent. I'm like, no, it's not dependent. So you can put any simple selector, which means no relational selectors. But you can put, IDs if you want to. You could put classes. You can put attribute selectors. You could put structural selectors. You could put UI selectors. Those are all the things we've covered already today, right? You just can't put the UL tilde div or whatever. That's not the child of UL. Nope, that you can't do that. Thing to note is that the not does not add any value to specificity, but this does. So this is actually very specific. It's a 1 dash. Well, I was going to do this section next, but can people hand these out? So this is specificity or specificity, and it's a specificity. Wow, I have a tail and it's following me along and it feels really weird. 4. I hope I brought enough. Here. Oh. And here more for the, I can't actually, my butt won't let me go all the way to the end. Can you bring this to those people? Thank you. Oh, I probably should have kept one. Are there any extras by any chance? Or just enough? Okay. Thanks. Oil tanker? Yes. I'm not at all political. So, thanks. Thank you. Okay, so what do we have here? I'm not going to go into everything yet, but I will point out what's at the bottom. So the last 2 lines in tiny, tiny print says the star plus greater than tilde has no value in terms of the specificity. And neither does the word not. That's the last line. The negation selector itself has no value, but the argument based or passed increases the specificity. So whatever you put in here actually increases the specificity. I'll go over specificity in the next section in about 10 minutes, 15 minutes, maybe 20 minutes. So let's exclude things. So it says, this says li not first child. So everything is highlighted red and bold, except for the first one. I could have done last child, and everything except for the 13th. I could have done nth child, 3, so everything except for the third, 3n, anything except for divisible by 3, with an offset of 1, right? I'm just going to confirm that 1 plus 3n does not work. See how I remember when I said you had to put it first, the n first. So that's omitting stuff. And then I have like links. So A. So none of my links are going to be the third child because every single link is the first child of its parent, right? So that wouldn't match anything. If I did 1, it would match all of the links, right? I could have done first child. But I can also do in here not href, which would be really stupid. If I spell this wrong, you see, it doesn't match anything. So you don't want to say not href because obviously an A is going to have an href. But this could help you figure out where your links are broken on the page. Like, do I have a link that doesn't have an href? Because then my page is not fully accessible. Or I should be adding roles, ARIA roles to them. If I'm telling them to do something else. So, but then I can also say starts with. So this is a local one, and that's the only one matched. Does that make sense? If you want to play with it 30 seconds, feel free, but I'm going to move on. We have the empty pseudo class, which I'm still trying to find a purpose for. This actually, do you guys know what CodePen is? Okay, so this actually caused an issue. I just wanted to do this by example. So CodePen, when Chris Coyer was doing it, he put empty for inside, like p empty, like don't show it, because sometimes people cut and paste and they have empty cells and whatever. And what happened is it went up. And so every single empty div, it was actually div empty. Every empty div, like all the ones that were just holding icons, were displayed none. And he's like, ah. So it's powerful, and it probably doesn't do what you want it to do, but it's basically empty divs or empty p's or empty whatever, which means that they either don't have a text node at all, like completely empty, or they have just a comment, this is supposed to match that. That's all it matches, empty. So not empty is actually more powerful than empty. Or you could do empty, you could do div colon empty background repeat no repeat, because usually you're doing a styling of something, like you're putting a background image on empty divs, right?